Make me big. Yay! Okay, a little excited tonight, I have to admit, because the Egyptian elephant is available. Available. But you're like, Rhonda, this is the Egyptian elephant. Well, if you've been here before, I'm a little obsessed, just a little, with the Egyptian elephant. I found it last year and I had to get it. So I have the unboxing and we are going to have one and the only Kokisha joining us as I open it. So this is so exciting. If you know me, you know this image. This image is incredible. But not only did I see this image, there was another one I had to get. Snow Leopard. And I am just so excited. What got me started with these beautiful artists is my Emerald Goddess. And I am so, it was mesmerizing. It reminded me of our Princess Tia. And I worked on it. And then I actually gave it to Tia as a gift. So I don't have that image with me, but I know Tia absolutely loves it. Hello, Denise. Hello. I am so stoked. I have my box. And I'm just like, ooh. And usually when I get my boxes, I just like rip into them. Okay, before I rip into them, I literally run to the door and I squeal. The delivery people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's mine. This is Christmas Day. Yes, I'm a little weird, but who doesn't get excited when you get a delivery? It's like, yay. Grams, hello. I'm just like, okay, so I need to stop for a moment. If I cough, my apologies. My son decided to share his germs with me. So I have my water, but that's okay. Yep. So I see our special guest in the back. Are you ready? Oh, yes. I am so excited.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good.
No.
How you been?
Hang on. It might be me. Michelle's in the house. Hello. Okay, we're going to do the test. 1, 2, 3. Let's try. Because sometimes I play with my... Okay, we're going to try that instead.
Can you hear me?
Yay!
Oh, that's what happened.
Oh my gosh. I just want to hug you through the screen. Oh my gosh, lady. Oh. Oh, Kaylin's asking, are you in New York?
May I answer her now? I am in Georgia. I am in Georgia for the week. Relaxing and getting a lot of sleep, I must tell you.
Oh, good. Sleep is important.
Yeah, took the week off. Time to reset. Ready to go.
you. That is awesome. You know, we look after everybody else, and it's hard to look after
It
ourselves.
is. It is.
So,
And I've had, 1,000 moving parts here for the last 6 months or so. But, I'm glad to report that I'm back. Everything is good. And we getting
uh,
things back on track right now. I never know where I'm gonna be at, but I'm here.
and that's awesome. Janice is saying, "Hey, bestie, how are
Hey,
you?"
Miss Janice.
Yeah, Graham, sleep is good. Yep.
It is. It is. And I work a lot.
Really?
So
I
yeah,
would
I have
never
a
have
full.
known that.
I always got 1,000 moving parts. So I got a day job that's 12-hour days, and then of course we have the three crazy cats and all that goes with it.
Yep.
And Butterfly Kisses is about to relaunch and Etsy store reopen. So it's just been a lot of moving parts.
Absolutely. I will say I am waiting patiently over here for you to open up Butterfly Kisses so I can place my order.
Listen, I have some exciting things going on with Butterfly Kisses. It should actually relaunching within the next 7 days. And I am proud to announce that all the wonderful things that go with Three Crazy Cats is also shifting over to Butterfly Kisses. So
Seriously?
so all of the beautiful art that everybody has just been so awesome in supporting us will now be available on other items as well, because we're girls and we like matchy matchy stuff. So
Absolutely.
my artists have been tremendous in just wanting everybody to enjoy their art, and they are putting out hand over foot. It seems like every week we getting a little better, So I'm super excited. I really am.
Oh, that's exciting news.
It
Like,
is.
guys, that was that was like the mic drop for me tonight. I was like, what? I'm gonna be able to get my canvases on other items.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Like, can you imagine? Like, so this is kind of where my brain went with like the elephant. I was like, I need my tumbler, I need my journal,
Yes.
I need my bag so I can transport things. I
Yep.
need this, I need my shirt. Like,
And listen, and I got 1,000 new ideas and a new partner with Butterfly Kisses. So there's going to be new items. Going to be
nice.
like a whole revamp of the store and what we offer, the quicker turnaround time and things of that nature, as I will have help. So it won't
Nice.
just be
That
me,
is
So it's great. I'm super excited. I can't wait.
okay. So, Kokisha, I just realized that I was diamond painting before, and I just picked up my arm, and I have drills on my arm.
That it wouldn't be right. You wouldn't be diamond painting if you didn't.
But I didn't have that many drills on my desk. What the heck?
Listen, as a diamond painter, we know you might end up with drills just about anywhere.
My family has actually gotten used to drills. My
Yeah,
son will be like, "Oh, here's one, Mom. Oh, here's another one. Oh, here's a third one. We
yeah,
have a triactor."
yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, yeah, see, everyone's like, woohoo! That is awesome news. Janice, I will be doing an unboxing tonight. I'm like, okay, can we do it now? How about now? Is it time now? Is it now?
I hear you. I'm super excited to see them. I enjoy looking at our canvases as they come out. I really do. I mean, and what makes it really awesome is that, anybody that goes to our website knows that our artists are awesome and they try to cover the gauntlet of what
Yes.
somebody could like, right? So,
Oh,
I'm very proud of the diversity that's in the website and all that it offers. But at the same time, it's amazing from this side to watch exactly what people are ordering. Mm.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I know.
it's
Like part of me is like, I
amazing.
want to be a fly on the wall on your side just to see.
It is amazing because in a lot of ways, a lot of people have ordered and they don't realize that they're the first one to order the design, right? Because Three Crazy Cats is not that old, right? We're only 6 months
No,
old. Um,
you're just a
no,
baby.
yeah, we're still the babies. So people are still ordering these pictures and they just don't understand that they're the first ones, right? So that's why we encourage them in our Facebook group to post, right? Post what you bought. Let us see the canvases, right?
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, right, we drop ship, right? So it's not like the canvases touch my hand first, right? That's the biggest difference
yeah,
between the cats and butterfly kisses, right? And
yep.
it was a real bad, it was a real interesting adjustment, right? Because I'm used to controlling the narrative,
And
right?
how does that
And
feel not to have the control?
well, you take control from a control freak is it's a little interesting. But I have a great supplier that I have worked really long, tired nights with, so that we're on the same page, right? Because
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I have to be able to entrust him to get it right.
yeah,
Right. So I've been super specific about things, and I'm proud to say that he's come through. Uh,
nice.
each of the cats, right? Because there's three crazy cats, right?
Hmm.
So each of the cats is even our partnership is interesting because each of us diamond paint, right? And so each of us have something that's important to us that we brought to this business, right? Because I'm still the longest one diamond painting, but we all have, you all have that thing that's the irritant when you diamond paint, right? So
Yep.
some of us, it is the symbols that show up on the canvas, and why are these symbols sitting next to each other,
Oh,
so um that's one thing, right? My our website manager just sent me a message saying that currently we have 718 items, different designs on that website to choose from. If somebody can't find something, they're like, I really don't know what to tell, right?
oh, there's lots there. Believe me.
you know but we all brought into this the thing something different things that were important to us, right? And it's all paying off in spades, right? Because each of us got our way with the thing that irritated us most, right?
Hmm.
So I mean, down to the canvas and the order of the numbers and the letters and which letters
Yes.
got taken out so that they didn't look like something else, and you know
Is it
our
square versus round? I'm like, I love that image, but it's round. No.
And see, for me, that was one of my pet peeves, right? Because don't choose for me. Okay.
Yes.
I want the image. If I want to fall in love with the image, hey, I do both, right? I do square and round. So hey, sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't, right? But I want to be able to choose it, right? So it was very important that everybody had the diversity of being able to choose what they like, right? Why should this war continue square versus round? Pick what you want. All right. And you still got your image. But the order of the design, the order of the canvas numbers being literally in order, that was a pet peeve for one of them. Um, the communication, that was a big one, right? Because we were ordering from companies, okay, no matter which company we're really talking about, right? And you don't know when they ordered the kit. You don't know when the kit is coming. You got to fight for a tracking number. You know what I'm saying? All of these things were such a pet peeve that we tried to kind of conquer it all, you know? And putting it in the supplier's hand at the end of the day was a given. That had to be done, right? Because the me getting the kids. Listen, we don't even know where I'm gonna be at, so I can't have the kids, right? So, and
Yeah.
it cut down the shipping time, right?
Mhm.
So it was just easier and it just made sense, right? So, it goes straight from him to everybody, and we've had some hiccups. Okay.
which is
And
to
like
be expected.
right. And like I told him, it's not the point of whether we have the hiccups, because we don't have hiccups, right? I don't care how long you've been around. I don't care who you are, you're gonna have hiccups, right?
Yeah.
But customer service is a huge thing with me, right? So like I told him, it's not the hiccups, it's how we fix them. Right.
It's
So
how
I'm
you
trying to
communicate
say
them. It's
that
how
with
you fix them. It's that, hey, we're in this together.
exactly. And that's what I told him. So like I said, if I look bad, you're gonna look bad. If they fussing at me, you're gonna get fussed at. And I'm a lot louder. My fussing is a lot louder, right? So he don't like to hear my mouth at all. But we have so many people that have ordered kits, and the amount of hiccups that we've had, honestly, are minimum in compared to the grand scheme of things.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I'm enjoying watching the kits revealed. We have so many people that's ordering. I don't know all the YouTubers, right? So sometimes I just get a link. Hey, I did a video. Oh, okay. I gotta go look at it. So we get to see the kids. We're excited to see them. We want to see the canvas, right? Because this way we know what you got, right? So
Yeah.
the opportunity to see you open that box and let me see that canvas, let me make sure that it's everything that I want it to be, right? That I expect. Because if it's not, then he gotta hit my mouth tonight. So,
Well, but
it's
you
okay.
make a good point there, Kokisha. It's not just us who have this expectation,
Completely.
whether we're new or we're seasoned.
Yes.
We have we have developed this expectation,
Yeah.
especially in this world of instability.
Absolutely.
And then as a as a business, as a company, you also have expectations.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to juggle finding that happy medium.
It is. It is.
For things that I find that are, you know what, they're not the best. I wouldn't say 100%, but I can live with them. It
Mhm.
doesn't distract from my enjoyment.
See,
However, it
right.
might be different for somebody else.
Absolutely. And that's why I tell people I don't care how small it is or how big it is.
Yep.
Give me the feedback. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Give me the feedback. If it's good, bad, or indifferent, right? Give me the feedback. Right. I'm a big girl. I can take it. Right.
Okay,
But it's
but then
because
on the fair side, Kakisha, there is a way of giving feedback,
true.
and then there is feedback.
Well, here's the thing,
And I
right?
don't need to give you feedback
It's
because
true.
you're probably feeling that feedback already.
Well, you
So,
know what? My grandmother used to say, right? Everybody's delivery is not going to be what you want it to be.
no,
Take the part from it that you need and keep on going, right?
very
Because
good
I'm not
point.
gonna sit here and argue with nobody. I mean, diamond painting is supposed to be relaxing, all right? So
Yep.
I'm not gonna argue, right? I don't. And many people have ordered our kits at this point, thank God, right? But
Mhm.
they'll tell you that I'm easy like Sunday morning. I don't like stress, right? So if you call me and you say, "Hey, Kokisha," hello, Christopher. um, if you say, "Hey, Kokisha, I ran out of a color," like I just recently had a young lady tell me that. Okay, am I getting ready to argue the point?
No,
No, because I didn't see the kit, right? I didn't touch the kit, right? What's the point of me disputing with you whether you ran out of a color, right?
yeah,
So I
yeah.
give them an option, right? Because we do like instant gratification. And that's a
We
pet
do.
peeve of mine, right? I've been diamond painting for almost 10 years. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
You let me start a kit and run out of a color, I get an instant attitude. Okay. So I give them a choice, right? Because it can happen. It happens to the best of us, right? And I tell them, I said, listen, my girl over there diamond painting with sparklers, she got some drills. I got drills from Diamond Drills USA. These are all people that I work with, right? So we can do this one or two ways. I can yell at my supplier, which has to happen anyway because you don't have all your drills, right? So that has to happen anyway. And we can have him send you the replacement, or we can make this a simpler process. I can order from one of them and get you what you need, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And we have a lot of out of country people, right?
Yeah.
That order, right? And I mean, I've been amazed at where some of these kids go, right? But even them has been easy to work with, right? Because they're in another country. Can I get my supplier to send you your replacement drills? Of course I can, right? But it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
So how about you order from where you can order from, and I give you a discount on your next order? How about that? So I'm so flexible in how to work out an issue because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we just want everybody to be happy, right?
And I think it's the options. It's not saying it is this way or that. You
Right.
either get it or you don't get it. It's like, well, no, like, can we talk about this? We're
Yes,
humans. So
absolutely.
let's have that conversation.
Absolutely. And that connection is important, right?
Yeah.
I find that, I am a business owner on a different level already, right? And, most people that know me know I'm also a retired therapist. So dealing with people is what I do,
Yeah.
right? So people want to be heard and understood. I don't care what the issue is.
Absolutely.
Okay. You want to
Oh,
get along with most people, understand that they want to be heard and understood. Right.
yeah.
So you stressed out because now you think that you're going to run out of a color or you have run out of the color. Right.
Yes.
How do you fix it? Because the kit got to get done.
Yeah.
Right. I just recently did a kit from another company. Okay. We'll let that remain nameless. The kit came out fine. Okay. Seeing critiques and stuff, right?
Mhm.
But what's the biggest problem? I have a hole in the center of my picture because I've run out of drill. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do we fix that? Because I need a finished kit. you know?
You know what? And you make a very good point. So Christopher says she has to deal with him. So Christopher,
That
you have,
that is
yep,
work in
yep.
itself,
So
girl.
we
Just in
know
case
she's
you don't
good,
know. Okay.
right? But you make a very good point because I actually had a canvas where I was 90% done and I ran out of a color. And I was like, no.
Right.
And it was for an event, for me, a very important event. It was a mental health event. And
Yeah.
I was like, no,
Hmm.
God, what are you trying to tell me? Right? You start having these conversations. And at first, the company was like, we'll finish the canvas and let us know if you have other drills missing. We can send them all to you at once. And I was like, no, I don't want to finish it if I don't have all the drills.
Hmm.
So it was that exchange, it was that conversation. It was, let me explain to you as a customer
Why it's
what
not okay.
is going on.
Hmm.
And they came back and I gave them pictures. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be I
Hmm.
would like you to understand. And they came back and they're like, that makes perfect sense. Thank you very much. And they sent me the entire drill set. Here you go. And I'm like, oh,
Really?
like,
And I can't tell you that's impressive because, honey, the most expensive part of our kids
is the drills.
is the drills. You understand?
I
So
was
if they
like,
think for a
you
whole
didn't
sleeve,
send me all of them. Just like,
that's impressive.
wow. So that gave me a whole new respect level for
Absolutely.
a company that many people would go, it's a small company, no big deal. And I'm like, no, like they took the time to actually have a conversation with me and
Absolutely.
understand, and I understood from their perspective, and they went above and beyond.
Right. And it matters, right?
Yeah,
And what we have to always remember as small businesses, no matter what we sell in,
yep,
we have to go the extra mile, right? When you're not the big dog, right?
yeah.
You have to go that extra mile sometimes, more sometimes than you want to, right?
You
I
get compared to the big dogs.
That's right. And you have to set the standard of where you're gonna fall with that, right?
Yeah,
Because everybody's going to compare you to the bigger company, right?
yeah,
I tell people like they're not allowed in my Facebook group to bash. I don't do drama. We're
no,
not talking about other companies and stuff
no,
like that, right? But we do our little whip Monday. I think it's Monday. I think. Okay, where they can post whatever they're working on. It doesn't have to be one of our kids, right?
no.
even that's a decision, right? Because you want to see your kids, but you know what? We have a lot of kids. If anybody's like me, they got stashes, right? So listen, things got to take a number, right?
Yeah, yeah, right.
So it's okay. I don't mind seeing a kid from Diamond Art Club. I don't mind seeing a kid from Dreamer Designs, right? As I said, I've been doing this for 10 years. Okay. I've watched both of those companies start, have their hiccups, and keep growing, right?
Mhm.
So I don't mind seeing the kids from the other companies. Okay.
Yeah.
But what we're not going to do is bash them, right? So if you have a
No.
problem with Diamond Art Club, go talk to the Art Club, right? Because
Exactly.
I just don't want to do the drama part of it,
Yeah,
right?
no. There is too much stress going on in the world.
It
We do
really is.
not need to create our own drama.
Exactly. Okay. And
Just saying.
dancing is supposed to be our happy space. It's supposed to be the thing that help us relax at the end of the day. Right?
Exactly.
I zone out when I diamond paint at the end of the day. Okay. I done looked at a computer screen all day and I got numbers and things crunching in my head. Just leave me. All I want to do is have a color in front of me and start. You know,
Exactly.
you just want to relax and we got to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Life is too short.
No, exactly. And on that note, I'm going to switch down.
Hey, hey, I'm waiting.
I want to see your face when I change
Mhm.
my camera and we see this one open. Now let's see if I can do this.
And you got two of my favorite kids, so I am
Oh,
excited.
I am like stoked. So I've got a bit of a thing here. Let's see if I can do this. Sometimes technology likes me. Now, this is the kit I got, but there's two kits in this. So it came, I have to say, it came like completely taped. No issue there whatsoever.
I
And
love
that's
it.
good because it was raining that day.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
So here's one. And here's two. I am so excited. So we're going to take the Egyptian elephant one away for now. Leave the goodie for the last. Oh my
We
goodness.
know how attached you are to that kid.
Oh yeah, you do. So this is Snow Leopard.
Taza Creations.
Oh my gosh, this is just incredible.
It
So
really
I
is
got the
beautiful.
75 by 70 square. Your drills are in fact resin. The bags are quite long, so that protects the canvases as well.
Now, can I interject something right quick?
Oh, absolutely. You go for
That
it.
says that it's a 75 by 75 square, right?
Yep.
What you ordered was a 70 by 70 square. And I really want people to understand that it was a pet peeve for me for you to get what you pay for. So we charge you for the size of the picture you want and not the canvas we're going to put it on. So
Oh,
the
that is so
actual,
cool.
yeah, so the actual picture size there is the 70 by 70 square, but the canvas is a 75 by 75.
Brilliant. So see, I don't even have to measure it. I'm trying to get the inventory sheet out. Okay, there we go. So here is the inventory sheet. I have 63 bags of drills. I love this image. Taza has done a fabulous job.
She's an amazing artist.
I just, it has 3 ABs, 2 crazy dust, and I love how it goes 1 to 9 first. And then you start with your letters and your symbols. So they are mixed in. The G is backwards, so not to get mixed with the 6.
Correct.
And
And if you
then,
notice the B is missing completely so that you don't have to mix that with the 3.
oh,
Hmm.
oh,
That's
isn't
why
that?
it's mixed in because certain letters had to go.
Gotcha. See, you learn it here. So then we have the canvas. I have to say, Kokisha, I love, if I can do this, I love the paw prints.
Thank you.
They are so sweet. Oh my gosh.
I thought they were absolutely adorable. I can't tell you how much work it was to get them on there, but oh God, I love them.
Look at this face.
Oh my God.
Ah, I just want to, and I know it's a wild animal and I really should be respectful. So I will try. But you also get a label sheet
Yeah,
that is pre-cut.
yeah.
That is so cool. Imagine the possibilities. Oh, that's so cool. And again, it has all the information in the image. So you can put it in your inventory book if you have a logbook. I don't, but I store these anyways.
And there's a separate sticker. That sticker you were looking at that said it was a 75 by 75 is for your logbook.
This one here.
No, the little
No.
one is another one is a little sticker. It looks like a card.
Oh, you mean the one that's printed on the
Yeah,
photo
that
paper?
that is a sticker. Yeah,
The photo paper?
yeah, and it's a
Like,
sticker.
look at that image. That is just, you can see the tail.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. I love it. Love it. And then this is the colors. Like when you see that image, you don't see a lot of color. But look at the colors.
yeah.
I love the colors.
And she did an amazing job. I mean, and everybody knows I love big cats, so
Oh,
she
that's
did an awesome job.
incredible.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So look at the image. Yes, I'm excited. This is incredible. So you see the drill field. Let me take the light off here. Your canvas is actually sparkly. There's sparkle in it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's one finger. That's how sticky it is. And I love how the cover is
Yeah.
thick but pliable, and it's not thin where it would tear.
Well, that was a change because when we started, it was thinner, right?
Oh,
And one of the feedbacks that I got from one of our great customers was that they wanted that sheet to be thicker.
yeah.
So they asked and I deliver. That's my
Well, and
job.
that's perfect because, when I'm trying to section my canvas off, if
Yeah.
it's too thin, when I lift it, it tears in a different direction. I'm like,
Mhm. Yes,
no,
ma'am.
no, thank you. But like you can even see the details without the drills on this.
Yes.
You can see the tail and all the greenery. That is just incredible. Oh, I'm so excited to start this. But I have to finish my other ones first.
I understand, girl. I understand.
Oh, I am not a whip girl. I know that didn't sound right, but I'm not a whip girl. But I want to start them all.
Yeah, diamond painting make you do that.
She did a fabulous job.
She really did. That is gorgeous.
Look at the paws, pinky toes.
And she's a perfectionist. She's a wonderful human being, to be honest with you. I have a really great relationship with Taza and talk to her almost daily. And she's an absolutely wonderful artist, but she's a beautiful person and very much a perfectionist, girl. Don't let nothing be wrong with one of them pictures. Oh my God.
Oh, I would understand that completely.
You
And
know, but I find that several of our artists are that way. They're very particular.
oh, well, you know what though? I don't blame them though, because it's their piece,
Yeah, absolutely.
and you want it to look a certain way,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
So this is the one that you got me hooked, and I will say, Kokisha, you got me hooked. Not only do I have this from another company,
Yeah.
I carried it with me to the crafters retreat
The
and
craft is paradise.
last year,
Hmm.
so I could get people's opinions on how to enhance it.
Ah, okay. Yeah. You talking about the crafters paradise?
Yeah.
Okay, so Cheryl G will be there, so you should be able to get some great advice.
Oh yeah. Well, I took the one I had from the other company. I actually took last year to my retreat. I carried it with me, and this year I'm taking this one again with me
Wonderful.
because it's a different size.
Right. Michelle, to answer your question, darling, no, that picture is not hand rendered. Okay. Um, the truth of the matter is that hand rendering, I've learned, is actually a very expensive endeavor.
Yeah.
Okay. I give great respect to the companies that hand render their kit because it's a very expensive endeavor.
Yeah.
However, I have learned that uh, you have different levels of computer generation.
Yeah.
You have uh, a mixed rendering, which is partially hand rendered and partially computer rendered. And our supplier has done, and the designer that we work on with for our kits has done an absolutely amazing job of getting those kit renderings as close as it could possibly come without being hand rendered. Okay.
Oh,
So we work really hard at that. Okay. And so as everybody sees, we offer renderings for every picture. Oh, and we will not sell it in a size between the discussion that has to happen between the designer and I. We won't offer it in a size that we don't feel like is worthy of the picture. So most of our kits start at a 65 by 65 and go up.
yeah. And interesting enough, with this one in particular, there's
Mhm.
only one size.
Correct.
You
And it's
cannot
because of the
buy it
oddity of the size.
smaller than this.
Yeah,
So
that's a
I,
65 by 80. Yes.
yeah,
And the reason why it's not that you can't have it bigger. If somebody wanted it bigger, I would offer them the bigger size. Okay.
yeah, but you wouldn't want it
However, you
smaller.
know, it's big. It's
Oh,
big.
yes.
So, we only add for those type of pictures that come in the odder sizes. Sometimes you'll see on the website that there's only one size, but we have had to make them bigger for some people that wanted that.
Well, that's nice to know that that's an option,
Yeah. Listen,
right?
I told you I'm easy like Sunday morning, girl. Everything's an option.
So let's look at this beautiful, beautiful canvas. Look at this elephant. And you can see where the major jewels go on the trunk. I'm just like, oh, I love this image. Like, Kokisha, you had, like I said, you have me hooked on this image. Like, I cannot get enough of this image.
Well, Stellar Designz, who's also an amazing person,
Oh,
loves
she is.
the fact she loves elephants, right? So I have so many elephants, okay, from her. And she loves that you love this picture so much that she found even after, as you said, it was sold by a different company first that she was with.
Yeah,
And in reviewing it, right, we found an error in the picture.
the trunk.
That's correct.
Yes.
And she went in and fixed that trunk because we found the error and we didn't notice it the first time, but
Yeah,
I was not involved because it was another company. So but we found it and we corrected it because all of our stuff goes on a big screen before it's sent and enhanced and everything else before the
absolutely.
supplier can print it.
Like, look at the flowers. I just, you can see the leaves and the patterns in the leaves.
Hmm.
And then right around the elephant's ear. I just, this is absolutely gorgeous.
I can't wait to see you do it because I know how much it means to you.
I love this image. I just love it's the colors, it's the nature piece of it. It's not overdone. It's something I could see out in the wild. It brings just this warmth, this love, this calm. I love how like even the ears, you see the difference.
Yeah.
Like, and it looks like a real elephant.
It does. I mean, it's a gorgeous piece. It's a gorgeous piece. It really is.
Well, I will tell you, when I showed this to people, they were just like, oh my gosh. This one is absolutely beautiful. And this one has 3 siblings.
Oh yes, at least, and I probably have another 6.
I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he loves elephants. I ain't listen. That's just her thing. She loves elephants.
The canvas even sparkles. It sparkles like if you look at like the Diamond Art Club ones, they sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
Yours does too. And the symbols are clear.
Yeah.
Oh. I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you love it.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't even tell my husband that I bought a second version of this one. Because he's like, you haven't finished the first one. I'm like, no, I haven't. But it's kind of like when you get that favorite actor and you have to have all their images. Well, I have to have this one. This is just like, oh, gorgeous.
Listen, I'm always amazed to find out the things like you were so adamant to love this elephant that I've had to look at this elephant multiple times because I'm just like, she really loves this elephant.
I do. And I will have to admit, let me bring back my face. I have to admit that I'm not a huge I gotta have kind of person. Like, I don't have to have the entire collection. But this one, it wasn't even a thought. I was like, I'm just, it is amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I know, because when I ordered it, you were like, you got the same image. I'm like, uh-huh. I just want to make sure you knew you had the same image. Like,
Exactly. I just want to make sure, I try to be as honest as possible. Yes, it's a business and yes, we want to make money, right? But the one thing I think that, if nothing else, that I want people to know about Three Crazy Cats is that, again, we're diamond painters, right? So if you see something, if you can think of it and your heart desires it, send me a message and tell me what it is, right?
ferrets, ferrets, ferrets.
I actually have a few of those. So you're going to get your wish. And that's another thing. Our artists love for suggestion. right?
Mm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
it gives them a direction, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody loves their thing, right? Like Stella likes elephant, right?
Yes.
Um um Teresa Rama loves big cats. Okay, so a lot of hers are beautiful women with a big cat protecting them type of thing.
Yeah.
Um, each of them have their thing, right?
Yeah.
But they love a challenge, right? So we recently did a poll in the group to see kind of, again, give them a direction that people wanted them to go in.
Yep.
And what they suggested is that they want more darker art
Mm.
images, right?
Yep.
And so that is so what they have it, over the next few weeks, you guys will see that I've actually put out a challenge to them about this, right? Because we're a family.
Nice.
We talk all the time, we
Yep.
laugh all the time, right? And so they did a challenge. I proposed a challenge to them. Hey, Dawn, I proposed a challenge to them about this dark art, right? And everybody was just like, okay, define dark art. I mean, what do we, how dark you want us to go, And so they have submitted literally, I don't think any one of them have submitted less than probably 20 images for me to
Nice.
choose from. Okay. And so the last couple of weeks of May, we're actually throwing that out there just to give somebody else. It's funny that you say ferrets because I'm just sending a set of ferrets to the supplier. Okay, so that'll come out probably next week. Okay. Denise says she likes hobos. We have a hobo, but hey, the artist might go on and make some more. So we like
Nightmare Before
suggestions.
Christmas.
We like that. We like to Night Before Christmas is my favorite. See, now, Dawn, we can go and give you something that is Nightmare Before Christmas ish, right? But
See, this
Nightmare
is my
Before
baby.
Christmas is trademarked. You have a ferret. Oh,
And actually my channel is named after her. Her name
really?
is Dipper. Her litter was named after the constellations.
Nice.
And she is our little dip. Sometimes she's a little dip. But she literally is like a toddler, and she makes me pause before I do anything because she's like, "Ooh, what do you have over there? Oh, what's over here? Oh, I need to sniff this." And then she like walks across my desk and on sits on my canvases, and she goes through the rolls, and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, listen, fur babies are interesting. Mine was just walking in here. I thought she was gonna start being a little unruly. But our fur babies are fur babies. We need them.
Oh yeah, she like we only have the one. And usually they're a pack animal, so they
Hmm.
usually have to have pairs.
Right. I've always seen anybody that had a ferret have more than one.
Yeah, we only have the one.
Okay.
She was in the cage and she always was away from the other ones,
Okay.
and we are her pack. It literally is like we get up in the morning, she comes out, we play with her, we feed her, she chases us, she follows us, she steals from us, and then she goes to sleep like a cat. And then she gets back up. She's like, "Okay, guys, where are you?" I'm like, "We're over here."
Yep. She needs
The other
that. How
day,
old is she?
yeah, she's 3 years old. So she's still like a little baby.
Right.
She only sees shadows, so she has a visual impairment. But
Okay.
she is like the cute, and she's like so friendly. She doesn't bite. She doesn't scare. I take her out on walks on leashes, and
Really?
we go and see the kids. People come up and see us. Like, okay, this is Dipper. She was in the
Wow.
neighborhood newspaper, so she's famous.
Oh my God.
I'm like, she's sleeping right now, but earlier she went into one of my packages and she steals my squishies, and then she goes and hides them. Anything rubber, she loves.
Does she
And
chew
you heard
it?
me right. She loves rubber to steal and hide. We have to hide erasers because she will find them and she will run away. You can literally pick her up holding the eraser and she will not let it go.
Really?
Oh, yeah. She, the best thing she's ever stolen was my son's athletic baseball cup. She opened up the zipper, climbed in, found his cup, which was twice the size of her, and she ran up the stairs with it. It fell down a couple of times and went back up. And we do not know where it is now.
At all? She hid it.
She's hidden it.
Michelle asks the question for the squishies. Does she eat them?
No, she just wants to hide them.
Wow.
She just hides them. Just hides them. Remote controls, anything that has rubber on it. We went and got a pool noodle because you know how they say take a pool noodle so you can hold your big canvases? She steals them. She
Really?
steals them. Like a big pool noodle. And she's only like this big. And I'm like, that's mine. I'm like,
the fact that she can hide it and you can't find it is interesting. I mean, she's good. She's good. She has her hiding spaces.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
wonderful.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll find it when we move. Hey, honey, does this
Yeah, gotta do it though. You'll find everything when you move.
right?
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Listen, we can't live with them. We can't live without them.
No.
God knows I've spent the week with my baby. I've missed her so much, so I understand.
Oh yeah, she is like, and it's so interesting because if I go away for the weekend and I go and puppy sit my grand fur baby, my daughter's dog, then I'm like, okay, Eric, who's my son, you need to spend time with her. Make sure she eats, take her out for a walk. I'm like, really?
Yes. Dawn says that she hides the pool noodles too.
Yep. Oh
Twice
yeah.
as big at her, and she still can hide it.
So you know how you can get some of those smaller canvases that are double-sided and they have like the little pool in it?
Yes.
I have to take my canvases and put them up high because she will find a way to pull it out
the middle.
And I'm like, no. But we do. We have like one of the regular pool noodles. It is orange. And it's in my son's room. We had to put a sock on the end of it because she was trying to grab it and bite it to pull it, but it was fraying. So we put a sock on it. So she plays with the sock. And then she runs away with the noodle.
Wow.
Like, oh my gosh. And my son's like, Mom, she's in my room. She's in the corner with the pool noodle. And I'm like, take a picture, take a video. And he's like, she's on her back, holding it with her front paws, and she's kicking the back of it with her back paws.
Oh my God.
Like, oh my goodness. Like, you need to videotape this. I need to see this. Christopher says harnesses on order because I'm going to walk my 2 cats.
Yeah, he got 2 kittens. Oh my God, they are so funny. I would love a video of watching him walk them though. That would be funny.
You can train them. Like some of them love it and some of them do not.
Right.
All right.
So you can't, boss baby ain't leaving this house. Okay. Girl, I've had the front door open and she stepped out to the step and was just like, oh my God, it's a big world out here. I gotta go. And back in the house she goes. Okay. I'm like, nope. So listen, I never would have thought about walking a ferret, but
yeah.
Okay.
She has a harness. And okay, so in all fairness, when I say I walk her, it's usually in my sweater, and she sits in my sweater with her head poked out.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
she'll
So you
crawl
got
underneath, and she'll go through my arms and sit in my hood. And then she'll be like, okay, now I want down. So I put her down, and she'll sniff. And then when she's had enough, she comes back to my leg like, okay, mom, I'm ready to be carried again.
oh my God. Well, I just got a message that says that I should have touched on the fact that our new releases release every Friday.
Yes.
So that is true. Okay. Because I ain't gonna tell you I can remember everything, girl, because I can't. That our new releases release every Friday. Okay. We usually release a minimum of about 20 images every week. Those images are previewed through our Facebook group. Okay. So I always encourage everybody to kind of hang out in our Facebook group.
And here's the link for it. So go over and sign up.
Thank you,
Join.
ma'am. My cat ate my homework. She's so funny.
My cat opened my desk drawer. Yep.
Cats are a trip.
Yeah. See, Dawn says her cat likes the thin white noodles too. Yep.
And mine doesn't touch any of that. Okay.
Really?
She doesn't touch any of that. She has an obsession with boxes and bags.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So if a plastic bag is on the floor, like I came in yesterday with my medicine and I had the bag separated while I was looking through it, he jumped on the couch and was just in the bag. Yeah, I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Or like that box that your pictures came in, she to be in the box. Okay. If
Yeah.
you put that box down, she's going in the box.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yep.
mean,
I have boxes laying around that she goes and sleeps in and hides in. The other thing that she really likes is pants and long sleeves.
really?
So I will take actually, I have a pair of old pants laying on the floor here, and people are like, what's with the pants on the floor? I'm like, those are her tunnels. She crawls through them, and I play with her in the pants.
But you said that when you take her out, she climbs through your clothes and everything, right?
Yeah.
So, she likes that. That's what she likes.
Yeah. It's just the best.
Yeah, animals are the best. Okay. Um
So what else do you have going on with Three Crazy Cats?
I just got another message said that in order to join our Facebook group, you do have to answer the questions to get
Yes, you
in.
do.
Okay.
You
And
do.
I'm a stickler for that. I'll be honest with y'all. I have this theory, right? Certain things in social work background mess you up. But my theory is if you don't answer the questions coming in, you're gonna be a pain in my behind when you come in. So I just say answer the questions or you can't get in. Right. But that's like
That's fair enough.
standard.
That is
That's
fair enough.
that's
Answer the
standard
questions
for
are not that
all
complex.
right. And they're not hard.
No, right? And we want to make sure part of it is understanding the kind of environment you're going to be joining. Is it
Exactly.
a fit for
Exactly.
everybody?
Absolutely. And in the case of the cats, that's very important, right? Because in diamond painting, we have different types of wars that I like to call them. They have the war of images and the war of square and round drills. And so we wanted to be very clear about the fact that most of our artists do use some form of AI in their work, right? We don't want to be unclear about that fact that that's the truth, right? Um, we don't want to lie. I'm not that anybody that tells you knows me knows I just don't lie, right? So I don't lie about the fact that our images are not hand rendered. I don't lie about the fact that they use AI in their work, right? And personally, I just don't care, right? So I
But you're
feel
allowing the consumer to make those
that's cool.
educated decisions,
Absolutely. And so
right?
our questions entering that, are important,
Yep.
right? So, answering the entry questions is important. We would love people to participate in the group, right? Because, that gives us the feedback. And like I said, all of our artists are admins in the group, right?
Oh, that's cool. Because
Because we
not all Facebook groups are like that.
Yeah. And see, art is different in a lot of ways, right? Because all of our artists are admins in the group, right? Because I'm very transparent with them also, right? They
Yeah.
are compensated for their work, okay? They will, if they were in the chat, they will tell you that I'm Johnny on the spot when it comes to that, right?
Yep.
Because I don't feel like they should have to worry about that, which is one of the reasons why Three Crazy Cats was created,
Yeah.
right? Because there are places that don't treat the artists fairly, okay? And they shouldn't have to stress and worry about that. Not when they're supplying the work, right?
Yeah.
Without their images, we don't have a company, right?
Well, no,
So
exactly,
that's
right? And
important.
yeah, I mean, I think that's part of where I stand too is like, I love this image. I love this artist. I love that artist. I want to support them in that.
Right.
And if I love them, I'm going to share it,
And we appreciate that. You
right?
understand? We appreciate that.
But there's no strings attached.
And that's
And
the
that's where
thing.
I come from. Is like,
And I
okay,
love for you guys to say that, right? Because
right?
I think that sometimes people, especially with the larger companies, right, feel like influencers do the unboxings because they get the free kits, and I'm not saying that they do because I don't know nothing about that, right? But, this is the assumption, right, that their review is based on the fact that they're being influenced by the fact that they got these kits, right? And
Yeah.
PR packages are what it is, right? I also have sent kits to certain influencers. They have supported us and they've purchased the kits, right?
Mhm.
But my thing is whether I contact you and say, hey, can you do an unboxing of a ticket, right? Because that's another thing. I don't pick their kit, right?
Mm,
So anybody that wants to do an unboxing, right? Either they're going to go into our website, and I don't know that they're an influencer anyway, so they pick what they want. But even
yeah.
the ones that I am very good friends with, like Christopher, right?
Yeah.
Um, if I say to Christopher, hey, you want to do an unboxing or whatever the case may be, because he'll never ask me that, right? But if I say to Christopher, like, hey, Chris, you like this kit, pick which one you like, right? Because I want them to do it, right? It's not enough
Exactly.
just to show it. I want you to do it so you
Yeah.
can give me that feedback, right? And Christopher is a perfect example, right? We all know that he has a channel, right?
Absolutely.
And most people that Diamond Pate know who Christopher is, right?
Go
But
follow up.
and Christopher and I are good friends. I love me some Chris, right? But
Oh,
I
he's awesome.
tell him and everybody else,
Yeah.
take our friendship, put that on the back burner for a second, right? Because I need you to tell me the truth, right? So if there's anything wrong with the kit, if there's something wrong with the rendering, if you feel like I can do something different, I could do something better, I need you
It's
to tell me,
constructive.
right? I need you to tell me. I don't care what
Yeah.
it is, right? Because that's going to help us grow, right? Like I said, we're still the babies, right? So we're still getting our name out there,
Yeah.
right? So I love that our artists like Teresa Raymer was one that participated in an event and she wanted to help. She wanted to sponsor the event, right? Well, I follow my artists, right? Because they're my friends also, right? So if
Yeah.
they're doing something to promote themselves, I'm going to get behind them 100% at
Absolutely.
that, right? So we end up sponsoring, and we have been blessed to be able to sponsor several events as well, because we're still trying to get our name out there too, right?
Exactly.
Because we are still the baby, right? We're not even a year old yet, right? So we
No.
kind of still getting our feet wet, right? And opening this company was a crash course, right? It wasn't something that I anticipated.
Good.
People will tell you that really know me. I used to sell diamond paintings already. I did that, been there, done that, right? And I swore I would never do it again, right?
You are.
But the whole atmosphere of diamond painting has changed. The quality of the diamond paintings. what makes
Yes.
a good diamond painting, right? Because anybody that's old school like me knows that diamond painting started with double-sided adhesive. You understand?
Oh, I've heard the stories.
Oh, right.
I'm still a baby. I'm only in like my third, fourth year, and I'm like, I cannot imagine
It started with
having a
double-sided
kit come
adhesive.
that is double-sided with no instructions, and you're like, what do I do?
Well, believe it or not, the double-sided adhesive really acts pretty much just like the poured glue, right? So when you pull it back, it looks the same way. It's just glue.
Yeah.
Right? The only difference is that literally it's a double-sided adhesive, so it's a tape, right? Instead of the poured glue. So depending on how they shipped it, sometimes there were rivers that developed in there. And if you didn't know how to deal with that, then you had popping drills, you know.
Yeah.
So some companies were better at it than others, right? But now the standard is everybody's looking for poured glue, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a supplier that can give you poured glue, you're gonna have a problem in the first place, right?
Yeah. I've
Because
done
it's
a
important.
double-sided one, and the one thing I notice is they're very, if you put the drill down not quite where you want it, it is tougher to move it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if you
Because
have
it's putting it on.
OCD
Yep.
and you want it perfect,
Yep.
it's tougher.
Yep. Yep.
That is one of the main differences.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that. I can't argue that point.
right? So everyone's saying hello. Oh,
Yeah. I would
Diamond is
tell
going over.
everybody, the best thing that I can tell everybody about Three Crazy Cats is that we're still growing, we're still learning, right? Um, I I'm grateful for where we're at, because all things considered right now, everybody says we're doing a great job, right?
Yeah.
Um, everything. I have some really exciting things that are going on in the next 60 days with the group, right? So there will be different types of additions that people are not expecting. Okay. But all good things.
Yeah.
Okay. All good things. And it all is around the artist's work, right? So Butterfly Kisses is a part of it, and I work very closely, like personally, I have a thing about female business owners working together.
Yes.
Okay. So I look for specific companies and how they move and that they align with what I think, right? Staying out of the drama and the crazy, but to achieve things that help everybody mutually, right? Because being a small business owner is hard.
It
Okay.
is.
And especially now, I think that one of the biggest things in diamond painting right now are the tarot. Okay. And how that's going to affect everybody. Right.
Yeah.
That is a huge thing right now. Right. Because nobody wants to get caught like when it first started the first time. We had kids that got caught at customs. They wanted
Yes.
$190 to repeat
Yes.
Lisa. Are you
And you weren't the
crazy?
only one. I've heard that from many small
Yes.
businesses. Like,
Okay, because a lot of the kits came UPS and UPS wasn't ready for the tariffs. So
no.
what they did was they implemented what their base tariff fee was, which was $190. So no matter what kit it was, they were sitting there and they literally were expecting $190.
Yes.
Okay. And so everybody went into a panic, right? Everybody went into a panic because how do you sell a diamond painting for $60, but you got to pay $190 a custom, right? That's crazy. Okay. So we had to get past that, right? And even now, right? After this weekend, something else is supposed to go into effect. So it's something that we are watching very closely, right? I'm pleased to say that at this point, we have had no effect by it, right? We have worked out a situation with our supplier where we're kind of just eating the cost right this moment
Mhm.
that is taking because we don't want the customers to be affected by it. So, everything's a day by day process, right? So I can't promise nobody that, our kits are not going to go up or that there's not going to be an additional shipping fee and stuff like that because we do offer free shipping once you order two or more kits, right, into the US. We do offer to buy three, get one free, right? Those
Yep.
are things that are important to us, right? Because it's one of the things that the real bigger companies don't do.
No. No.
Okay. I mean, I've been a diamond member of DAC for a long time, so I'm not. I know that it's just not something that's offered, right? You have the point system and stuff like that, but you never offer the free kit, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that was an important thing, right? So that's what I'm saying. It was all about the devil being in the details. Okay. I like that. Affirmations 111. I like that.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah. I was like,
I
that's
like
different. Hello, hello. So certain the devil was in the details. And so certain things were really, really important to us. And them, everybody not, that is Stellar Designz, darling. That is who that is. That is Miss
that is
Stellar
brilliant.
Design. Okay. Girl, you just missed your elephant because Rhonda's addicted to your elephant. um, and even that, I love that my artists support us. They, saying they support us. They understand that I'm just the representative, right? Oh, she went and got it. Yeah, because Stella, girl, she loves this elephant and the sisters. No,
Oh
she
God.
said, "Oh my God."
Oh, oh.
It
I'm
does
just
look good.
well,
So
it's a Kokisha. Sometimes you have, an artist, a movie star where you really just love them,
yeah,
and you just have to have everything that comes with it.
he said thank you
That
so much for showing her because he sure came to see it.
oh my God.
Because she
I
loves the elephant. She loves it.
I cannot. Oh my God. This is
It's
like
gorgeous. Yes,
my
yeah.
heart is going like this. I'm just
And I think that all of us do that, right? We end up with an artist that we just really like their work, right? And so you really just you now watching everything that they put out, right? So
yeah.
those guys, Stellar Designs has her following. Cindy Emery has her following,
That's
right?
another one I like.
Uh, Taza Creations has
Yep.
her following. And Emmy Divine Arts has
Yep.
her following, and their styles are some of them are similar and so different at the same time, right?
Right.
So they appeal to different people for different reasons, right?
Oh yeah.
And I I wish that honestly, I don't think I'd ever be able to do it, but I would love to do a live where you guys could actually meet them, right?
Mm.
Because they are their own personalities, but they're all wonderful women, right? They're
Oh yeah.
wonderful women that take what they do very seriously. And people like Stellar Designs, Taza Creations, they don't even diamond paint, y'all.
Well, you know
Okay.
what? I will diamond paint all your stuff anytime.
So they
No bias
love
here.
to see their stuff as a diamond painting because that's the only way they're gonna see it.
Well, I've already told Kokisha that I'm waiting for Butterfly Kisses to open up so I can get as my Tumblr.
I was like, Stella, she trying to tell you something. She wants a tumbler and a journal with the elephant on it. But Butterfly Kisses does have that image as well. So you are in luck.
Oh, I'm just like, and then I'm like, well, but then I need one for the snow. I'm like, okay. I don't know. My husband's like, you don't need any more Tumblr. I'm like, but it's so pretty.
It is. It really is.
Pretty.
But we have such exciting things coming up in the next. Like I said, they step up for every challenge that anybody can give them. Okay, so like I said, right now it's the dark art. So we're about to have a whole release of a week or two, and whoever sells the most based on their pictures, will get extra commissions for their sales. Right. So we have different little family, incentives
Oh,
and stuff like that also. But Christopher said
see,
you
I
can
agree with
never have
Christopher.
enough
You can
tumblers.
never have too
Never.
many Tumblrs.
Okay. Um, so we have different internal things that we do because we really do work great together. Okay. And I love that. Right. I
Yeah.
love working with them because it's easy to work with them. Right. But they put out such awesome stuff and they step up to every challenge that somebody gives them. Right. So that's why we tell everybody, tell us what you're looking for. Right.
Yeah.
It don't matter what it is because the likelihood is you're going to get what you want. Right. But
Yeah.
coming at us, right. Whether you contact us through the store, whether you send me a private message, it's fine. Right. It don't matter how you tell us, but tell us something. Right. You can post in the Facebook group. It's okay because we want to know what you're looking for, right? There's no us if we don't give you what you want. So we
No,
want
and
to
you
know.
won't know unless we tell you,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
I'm like, um, I need more elephants.
Yeah. Oh,
I
well,
never thought
I
I
got
was an
that.
elephant person.
I got you. I got you because just made
I didn't
another set of.
understand. Like I didn't understand I was an elephant person, but I'm like, oh my god, that one's mine.
Yeah, because you really
So
like
like, I also told Kokisha, my wish list is growing, but my budget isn't. So I need to
it.
like,
Listen, I own the place and I feel the same way. Okay. I feel the same way. Okay. And right now I'm working. You would not even believe that I'm working on a custom that was done through our company. And it's an 80 by 185.
wow.
Yeah, it's a mural. Okay, it's a whole mural.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But
just to give you a clue, guys, that is my that's a loom, and I have my J wall on there on the
mm,
one with the diamond art, and it's
yeah,
120 by 150. So put that into perspective of what Kokisha's working on.
yeah. I mean, this thing is well, but it was specially designed. It's actually from my mom.
That's
But
incredible.
it's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. And that's another thing. We do customs, you understand? And people are not aware that we do customs, you know. So it's just about all getting our name out there at this point. We're really trying to just make sure that everybody knows we're here. We're the new kids on the block. We accept the fact that we're the new kids on the block and it's okay, you know, but we're here to stay. Okay. And we will be as good as everybody makes us, right? Because unlike many other companies, we're willing to make the adjustments, right? We're willing to do what needs to be done to make sure that our customers have what they want, right? Because if we don't have no customers, we don't have no business.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
so we just want to do some fun things. We have games being incorporated into the group and stuff like that, just to keep it fun, just to keep it fresh, right? Again, we all see enough drama in this community, so we can have
Don't need
somewhere to
it.
have fun. You know,
Don't
have
need it.
fun. You know,
I just
so
scroll past it. I'm just like, you know what? No, it's not a priority in my life. Sorry.
mm,
I
I
I already
understand.
have stuff going on in my life. I don't need
Yeah,
anything added to it,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So, I have to say thank you to Kokisha and the three crazy cats and your artists because when I got my box, I was like, Kokisha, can I have you on my live while I unbox my images? This was not pre-planned.
Right,
But I love the fact that you were like, yeah. And I'm like, yes. Because not a lot of people have a representative when you're unboxing it. So
right,
we don't get to have that inter exchange.
right.
And I'm
That's
like,
true. That's
let's
true.
have those conversations. Bring your questions. Let's get them answered. Hear it from the
Absolutely.
horse's mouth, not
Absolutely.
by, you know,
You know, and I'm honest, you know, and that's the one thing that anybody should know is that if you can ask me anything, I mean, there's no question. That's a stupid question, except for the one that's not honest, right? So you ask me anything, I won't lie. I won't sugarcoat it. If I can give it to you and I can do something, I will more than gladly do so. But if I can't, I'm gonna tell you I can't, you know,
and
because
that's what we
it's been a
appreciate.
learning curve to be from the diamond painting side to now the ownership side of it, right? It You would find out some very amazing things on this side at this point, right? That I just didn't expect, you
Oh,
know.
interesting.
Um, but it's a process, you know. I know
Yeah.
how easy render, I mean, how important the renderings are to everybody, right? That's a big thing, right?
Yes,
But
it
we
is.
but we pay for those renderings because you want the renderings, right? So that's something that we have to eat, as a business in order to supply that, right? Because that's just not a
Yeah.
free option. But we
No,
knew
it's
how
not.
important it was, right? So we take that on the chin. But I think that one I was having a conversation with one of the other cats, and she said that the thing that surprised her most becoming from a diamond painter to becoming an owner was how much the kits actually cost, right? Because I think we all guilty of it, right? I think we all guilty of thinking that, that all of the kids come from China. I don't care whose company we talking about, right?
Yep.
But I think that we're under the impression because of places like AliExpress and Temu and stuff like that, right? That these kits are like dirt cheap, right?
Yep.
And so you look at the companies, and I'm not saying that some of us don't do it, but you look at the more premium kits or things that's supposed to be premium kits,
Yep.
and you say, "Oh my God, that's expensive. Oh my God," but you would be surprised how much. Yeah, you don't make a lot of money doing this,
No.
okay? Because the kits cost. If
Yeah.
you want premium canvas, it
You're
costs.
gonna pay
You
for
know,
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
So the
have to
fact
pay
that
for it.
you said you love the canvas, that matters, right? Because
Yep.
there's different qualities of canvas, right? So we had to
Yep.
make a choice as to the one we wanted. Designing it had its own cost. And then I'm a perfectionist, so the pores were important, right? I thought the
Yep.
pores were important. My supplier did not. Right?
Yep.
But so I had to create that whole file myself, imagine the possibilities because I wanted it in all three colors. I had to sit here and do that myself. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think that people would be surprised to find out just how much it's things would surprise you on this side, right? I
Yeah.
would love to offer a kit for $10. You understand what I'm saying? But it just can't happen, right? Because
Well,
I
it,
only
it
think that
can, but is it what you want?
right, because you can get it, right? But
Yeah.
the
But
quality of what it is going to reflect how much you paid for it. And there's just no way around that, right? So, even as the owner, I was just telling somebody, I ordered this canvas, right? And it's a 80 by 185, right? One, I still had to pay for it. Okay. And
oh
for
yeah.
what I paid for it, I can't imagine charging somebody else for it.
And
Okay.
okay, so on the other side of that, I have a friend who had a picture and they sent it off to a company to have a custom made for it.
Yes.
There was no saving this canvas. She gave it to me. I tried to modify certain sections of it. It was too small, it was too pixelated. She ended up cutting this thing into shreds. And it was not cheap.
No.
She spent like $50 on this and
Right.
she was devastated. Loafer baby.
Say hi, boss baby. So yes, my mom is home. I'm boss baby, right? And that's one of the reasons why we don't offer kits smaller than we do, right? We do have a set because we knew that people wanted it. So we have a set that I think are 40 by 40s or 45 by 45
Yeah.
in much simpler designs and stuff like that because we wanted to be able to offer that as an option. However, right, when I look at, let's say, that elephant, it wasn't going to work as a 45 by 45. There's too much detail in it, right?
And that's
And
what I wanted. I wanted the detail.
so if I show you a picture and the picture looks stunning, but then when you look at the rendering and the rendering does not. right, there's a
Yeah.
problem, right? So you want what you want when you look at a picture. So, the fact that a lot of our pictures start at 65 by 65, I don't make no excuse for that, right? Because the devil is
Yeah.
in the detail. I know if I'm doing that, right? Like that elephant has so much detail and everything else, but that's what you want, right? When you're
Yes.
finished, you want to be able to see the same details that you're pointing out. You want to be able to see those, right?
And that's
And if you
exactly.
can't, and if you can't see that, then there's a problem, and customs are funny that way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because those are sentimental. Those mean something to somebody, right? When they have a custom done, it's usually a fur baby or a family member or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Now, um, what I learned a long time ago, just as a diamond painter, is the start of the problem is the picture you give us.
Yep.
Okay. People
Yep.
think that you could take a picture of a picture and send it to me. It's not going to work.
It's not the
Okay?
same.
It's not the same because I'm missing the pixelation. I'm missing some of the details. So the
Yeah.
better picture you start with, the better that we have to go from, right?
Yes.
And so mine is a custom, right? And it is pictures, 5 of them actually to be exact. And it has words, right? So I knew it was gonna have to be big in order to be what I wanted,
Yeah.
right? And it's absolutely stunning, right? Time is ticking for me to get it done, but it is absolutely stunning, right?
Yeah.
But just like I would do with somebody else's custom that they gave it to me, I ended up sending it to a friend of mine who is a graphic artist, and she helps create YouTube animations, right?
Oh,
So I sent it to her, right? Because part of it is 4 pictures of me and my siblings, right? But we're never together. So it's 4 individual pictures of us, and she
yeah.
changed the background to match everybody. So that it didn't matter where we were at when we took the picture, right?
Yeah.
But those
Exactly.
are details, right? And this is why I tell people those things can happen.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
cost to them, right? But they can happen.
Yeah.
So it just
Anything
depends
is
on,
possible.
right.
Anything's
Anything is
possible.
possible. It just got a dollar sign attached to it.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why I tell everybody, even with mine, I was surprised that, hell, I own the company, right? But I still paid over $150 for that canvas, and that's
Oh
my
yeah.
cost. And
Oh
that's
yeah.
my cost, right? So
Yeah.
how much am I gonna have to charge somebody else? You understand for that, So it's an interesting thing, right?
Yeah.
And like
And
you
you have
said,
people who are
the
fine with the
main
30 by
cost, the
40s.
main cost is the drip.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And you have people that are fine with the 30 by 40s, or the acrylic drills, um, or drills that are all different sizes, because you get those as well.
Yep.
And this same friend looked at me and they're like, I hate you. And I'm like, why? What did I do? You have spoiled diamond painting for me. I'm like, why? No, what happened? I saw yours. And yes, it was the elephant. Um, and they're like, they can be so much better. And I don't want to do these ones anymore.
You
And I'm
get
like,
them. I started with AliExpress, right?
yeah,
Because when I started 10 years ago, like we have a whole lot of options, okay? When I started diamond painting, Diamond Art Club wasn't even around. Okay.
yep,
I watched Diamond Art Club start, right? So, we had to order from AliExpress or Wish. I don't even know how many options. There were some options on Amazon, but very few, right?
yeah, they weren't around very.
Right. So my first diamond painting, which I still actually have in a shadow box, right, was a partial, right, just to see if I liked it, right.
Yeah.
And I ended up years later getting that very same image as a full canvas, right. But I did it because for me it was where I started and
Yeah.
where, you know, so and how the craft has evolved.
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
for me, it was, it's a very interesting. Diamond painting can be very wonderful. You just have to, it's what you want from it, right? Because
Yeah.
I didn't think that people would really. I thought that people that started diamond painting, even though they might have started with a 30 by 30 or 40 by 40, they would see quickly that, the devil is in the details and they needed to go larger because of the pixelation. But I had a person and I was watching in a Facebook group one day and he said, no, I will never do anything that's bigger than a 30 by 30 or 40 by 40
Really?
because, yeah, and I was surprised. But his reasoning was I diamond paint for relaxation and not for the end product. So I really don't care what it looks like, right? At the end of the day, I just want to do it, right? Because it's the actual process that I'm
Yeah.
enjoying,
I
right?
get that.
And I didn't get it, right? I was sitting there like, because I mean, we invest a lot of time with these pictures, right? So I didn't really get that. But it was a very interesting perspective to learn that somebody else would feel that way because surely I don't. But everybody gets attached to their artists, and I thank God that I work with some wonderful artists that people are falling in love with because they do awesome work. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I ordered my own company's pictures because surely I should be putting out that I'm working on them too, right? So, I just, but we're moving around. I had set here, but I was in New York, and now I got to
Yeah.
set in New York, and I'm back here.
You
You
know, and I
know.
understand. I understand them wanting to do a smaller kit. Personally, for me, I like the 50 by 50 or larger.
Okay,
That's just
that's
my preference.
agree. I agree.
I am a square person. I
Okay,
love confetti. I
okay,
love bright colors.
okay.
And I'm a tweezer person.
You work with a tweezer? Really? For the whole kid?
Usually, yeah.
Wow. Now, see, I started out with tweezers when I first started. I tell everybody a funny story because I started out with tweezers because when we kit the kits, they come with the basic toolkit, right? So I didn't think to look on YouTube to see if there was YouTube people talking about diamond painting. I didn't look on no Facebook groups. I didn't have any of that. I diamond painted for almost 3 years without knowing anybody else that diamond painted, right? I didn't know you had to move the wax. I didn't know the wax had a cover. So for
Yep.
me, even though it came with the pink pen, I couldn't get it to work because I'm
No,
sitting there sticking it and ain't nothing
you
happening,
weren't the
right?
only one. I have talked to other people and they're like, what do I do with this pink stuff?
I felt so
What do I
stupid
do
when I
with this
found
pen?
out. I felt so stupid when I found out. It was hilarious, right? But until then, I was working with tweezers, and I did. I mean, I have 65, 70 by 70 pictures that I did with tweezers, right? Because that
Yep.
I could understand, right? Until I got my first custom pen made, because then the pink pen wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So I had my first custom pen made, and it kind of been a rabbit hole since then, but it's all about comfort. I see these new e-pens.
Yep.
That was something new on me. I mean, I don't spend a whole lot of time on Facebook, so I didn't even know they existed until somebody told me. My bestie came to me and was like, have you seen it? And I was like, "No, what is that?" Okay. And she actually sent me one just so I could see it because I was just like, girl, you know how many pens I got? I mean, I stick to my story. I got about 10 this year. But, I was like, wow, I need another pen that don't need no wax and don't need, what is this? Right. And honestly, I still haven't used it. I need to sit down and try it. Right. I haven't. Right. But she loves it. Right. She loves it. She made it clear that she loved it. I
Yep.
ended up having a custom pen made for her for it. Right. Because
Mhm.
again, the pink pen is still just not where it's at. Right.
Yeah.
So, there's always, I love that it's always changing, it's always growing, right?
Yeah.
How many 3D companies do we have that do things with diamond paintings?
Many, 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 many,
Okay,
many
hell,
more I do not know.
most of them are good friends of mine,
Yep.
right? Because I find what they do fascinating, right?
Yeah.
But look, we at what, April 30th? Tomorrow, Firefly releases a lighted tray.
The twinkle. The twinkle.
Girl, the twinkle coming out tomorrow, and I'm waiting with my finger on the trigger, right?
Right? I'm like,
But each of those 3D companies, some of them sell things that are similar, but some of them all have their little niche, right? They all
dude,
found that little niche that's just theirs, right? So, I mean, Firefly is on some next level. That is something else, right? So, but that twinkle is coming out. That's a game changer. Okay, that's gonna be a game changer. Okay, because that tray battery, before you have to recharge it, because it comes with a rechargeable battery,
yeah.
it won't last for more than 10 hours. Okay, this is incredible, right? So,
I'm like,
I
how did you think about that? I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
listen. I'm Matt is a great friend of mine. Both Matt and Emily,
Yeah.
great people. Okay, great people with great business sense. Um, but Matt's ability to
Always
understand that
thinking.
software and what to accomplish. I mean, the man's it's like growing up with the Jetsons, and now we starting to live and see things by the Jetsons. That's where Matt is with his thinking of what can be done. You
Right?
know, yeah. So it's incredible to watch the new things that are constantly coming out. It really is. You know, it's always changing the craft, right? And just with that, you got to keep up.
Yeah.
You really got
Well,
to keep up.
so I was thinking about the e-pen. And I'm like, there's got to be something that already exists for another purpose where you can suck up a drill and not have a cord.
Well, I think they just came out with one that don't have a cord. They got the E2.
They're $50 Canadian.
Baby, I ain't say it was cheap. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. I saw it. Again, I ain't even tried the one with the cord. Okay, that's the one with the cord.
No,
That's the one without the cord.
no.
Okay, what do
This
we want?
is a pen that has little suction cups on the bottom, and they use it for electronics. So I'm like, I want to test it out and see if it actually will work.
And did you
There
try
is,
it?
I'm going to test it,
Okay.
and I've been able to pick up a drill. Now, will it place it the way I want it? That's the other question. But I'm like, there's got to be something out there already.
Mhm.
We just don't think about it because it's not diamond painting.
Well, see, I mean, most people, unfortunately, they call me the queen of pens, right? Because I work with so many attorneys so closely. And I'm impartial to my pens. I love my pens,
Yeah.
right? And my thing is, everything that changes, like the stainless steel tips.
Mm.
Everybody loves these stainless steel tips. Kokisha hates them.
Really?
Hates them. Well, you can't pay me to use them. Okay.
Why?
I don't see the point, honestly, right? One, most of them, the channel is too wide. I like a
Mm.
thinner
Yep.
thing. Okay. So that's first of all. So I did buy the ones from Diamond Art Club, and I do like those
Chris
because
hates them too.
right. I really like those because they kind of the graduated size thing, it goes from narrow to wider. I like that because to me it helps with the precision of placement because I can see it better. So I
Yeah.
do like those, okay?
Okay.
But I'm a white multi-placer, single placer, plastic brass kind of girl, right?
Okay.
And so for me, I do prefer putty to wax. Okay. But I'm partial to certain types of putty, right?
Yep.
Because there's so many out here, right?
Yes.
So right now I'm in love with Putty Crocker's putty, right? But I've tried them all, right? Because you just why not try it? But I can also use the wax, right?
Yeah.
And not have a problem because what? I used wax for so many years before there was a putty, you know? So, and I brush all my diamond paintings when I'm finished. So I take off, right? You know what I'm saying? So I can use the wax and not have a problem. I mean, let's face
Yeah.
it, if you buy diamond paintings, you're going to end up with a ton of that wax anyway, right? So, and I'm a light presser. And I think that the stainless steel helps with people that press hard. Okay. But
Yeah.
I'm a very gentle touch diamond painter, right?
Same here.
To the point where I was shocked just grabbing this pen. I think is one of my event pens. But I was surprised that people could crush this.
And that's quite common. And I'm like, how?
And I've never even changed the tip on one pen. So I
No.
was like, seriously? I was shocked, right? I didn't know that was a thing. So I understood when they started with this stainless steel, right? Because
Yep.
now they don't have to worry about that so much. Okay. But, I would be so specific about what I have to have, and then my girlfriend does 3D printed tips. Okay. And that I'm really impartial to those just because I can match them to my pen.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, what is
That's
it?
cool.
Dynamic Diamonds. What is Tracy's thing? She's on Etsy, and I order literally them like $100 or so at a time. Because I match them to my pens, right? So if I know I'm getting a blue pen or a purple pen, then I would go and get the tips to match it. And just like our trays that we could pick colors and everything else, the tips can be customized the same way.
Oh, that is so cool.
Right. So that's what I
Okay,
do.
you need to send me that link.
I love her stuff. Okay. And so a lot of my pens now have those, right? But it comes with the brass tip. It's not stainless steel. I think that she does have some type of stainless steel option because I think that he does turn pens also.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay. So I think that she has that as an option. But again, I don't know. I mean, I don't use it, but I think that that's a wonderful option. I like matchy things, right? That's why
Yeah.
Butterfly Kisses has to come out and matchy because I
And
like
that's what I
that fact
heard
that I
about
could change
before.
it. The 3D tips?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and she tried me. Tracy's absolutely, Madam Secretary. Please send me a link to her shop. Um, she's also saying that we have to talk about your discount code so they know that your channel now has a discount code.
Oh, yes. See,
Um,
I do this because I want to do it, not because there's a. But
listen,
you need to go to Three Crazy Cats. Go to them, check their site out. You just need to buy from them. They have amazing images.
thank you.
Like, seriously. So if you guys go over there and if you want to use my code, it is Dipper15, all caps.
Yes, ma'am.
Please make sure you join the Facebook page and answer the questions.
Yes.
Let me grab this one here as well. This is their website with the code. Now, that is not just one word. It is the website and then the code.
Right. Right. Yes, it is.
And while we do that, where is this? We're going to go shopping.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I see. I can actually do some things. Now, if I can find it, as I'm like looking all through my computer here. There I am. Here is their website. And you have options up here. You have the home. Here's your catalog. If you want to meet their artists, you can design your own. And then when you scroll down, like, look at these. These are so cute. Voodoo Love.
Yeah, all the new releases. Every time Friday comes, all of our new releases are then placed there.
These are just incredible. And then you have some information here. Unleash your artist. What's this one about? Unleash your artist. Oh, it's about you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. But let's go look at some of the artists. Like, let's look at the catalog. These things are so cute. So you have 718 products in here. You have a filter here. You can go what's in stock and what is out of stock.
They're all in stock.
I'm sorry?
All of our pictures stay in stock at all times.
Oh, look at this one. Look at the, these things are so incredible. Your artists are just.
They're amazing. They really are.
Another little elephant. Let's look at the artists. So you guys also do Break the Silence.
Break the Silence is my baby. That is my domestic violence event that is held in every October. And my artists are the featured artists. They create canvases each year that are our featured canvases, okay, which have the purple. They're pre-approved for anybody that wants to. But Break the Silence, you don't have to use a 3 Krazy Katz canvas.
Perfectly imperfect. These are absolutely gorgeous. So there'll be new ones out for this year, correct?
Absolutely. Yes, they're working on them as we speak.
So what happens to these ones?
They stay there. They stay there because you can use them. They're still purple, so you can use them. Okay. But every year they do a featured section. Okay, so they release pictures that's never been seen before from my artists. And so those are just like, they're the launch of the event itself.
So even though this is not hand rendered, this is the image.
Yeah.
And that is the rendition.
Yes.
Like, look at that. That's incredible.
That's from your
of course.
That's Stellar.
And I like the way that you can pick a size and then you have a choice between round or square. And you can also choose between, do I want ABs? Do I want dust? Do I want
nothing? Right.
Yeah. I think that is awesome. Let's go back here. So here you can do a custom.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. So there's Cindy Emery.
Yes.
She is incredible as well. Yeah. I don't think I have anything bad to say about your artists.
They cover the gauntlet and they work hard. I will tell you, they work hard. They're very, very particular about what they want to put out. Okay. Yep. They respect that. I've been diamond painting a long time. So, what I think would make a great diamond painting, and it's not every picture that's on the website that I personally like, to be honest with you. It's not my style. It's not my thing, but I love that they will cover the gauntlet regardless.
Yes. Yes. The other thing I really like about 3 Krazy Katz is the ethnicity that is available.
Yes.
There are more dark skin. It's not just white. You got little elves. You got animals. You've got fairy. You've got mythical. There is such a wide variety.
That it is. I mean, and they cover the gauntlet. So you have African American women, you have white women, you have Indian women, they have Asian women. They cover the gauntlet. It just depends on which artist. Some of them, go in a direction sometimes, and we wanted to make sure that there's something that represented everybody. And that's
Yeah,
just the
absolutely.
truth.
Like these are just so. Oh, look at the kitty cat. I want to help. That is so true. Like these are just incredible. So
So I had asked the girls about landscapes. I was like, hey, some people really like landscapes, so let's do
yeah,
some things that, got some nature in it. And again, no matter what I give them, they step up to the challenge. They really do.
and I like even within the artists themselves, the variety that they have.
Correct.
Like I just
It was a big thing that most diamond painting companies don't offer pictures of men.
yes.
So they answered the call, right? So we got loads of men to pick from, which is incredible because it was, again, we look at, because I've been diamond painting so long, I
You mean
have
kind of like this
nothing,
one?
I have nothing but respect, right? See, that's Levi, okay? And I have nothing but respect for the companies that's been
Yeah.
out longer than us, right? So, like the one with the diamond art is a perfect example. I love Kathy and them, and I think that they have an amazing product, right? But I also look at their shops to kind of determine where I feel like there are niches that we're missing, right?
Mhm.
So men were a big thing. Ethnicity was a big thing, right? And then of course I'm a black woman. So, these skin tones and
Yep.
how they're represented, is important, So, it became a big thing. A lot of studying and a lot of work went into trying to make sure that we were sure that we
Yeah.
could pull it off.
Well, and that's exactly it. I mean, my my emerald goddess. It was stunning. Just the color and the way it was put together, the details. I was like, "Oh, I need that one." It was the image that drew me.
Yes.
And then you got your little animals. You got your cutie ones. Oh my gosh, look at this one. Oh my god, look at the eyes on this one.
And when I tell you, some of them amaze me, like that one, perfect example. Teresa does something with animals and she makes them just their eyes off, their
Oh my
head,
gosh.
where Taza does animals and they are laughing or they're
Yeah,
sad so they do animals and it's not they can do the standard animal, but I love that they have a different way of looking at it where the
yeah.
animal just looks different.
I mean, okay, so now I'm gonna have to get the octopus. Oh my goodness. I, I'm just oh my goodness. Believe in you.
Oh, that
Oh
was
my
just
goodness.
adorable. That was just adorable.
And then you get the seal. Oh my goodness.
Believe me, sometimes I was just talking to Cindy Emery yesterday, and I told her, I said, listen, y'all give me so many pictures. I be in picture overload. I have to stop looking at pictures after a while. Right?
Right?
Because they really supply us with an onslaught of beautiful stuff, right? So sometimes the hardest thing I have to choose is which pictures are being released every week.
Yeah.
Because how do you choose? Because
Well,
everything's so
exactly. I'm like,
beautiful.
okay, I need that one. I need that one. I need that one. I'm like, okay, hang on a second. I'm supposed to be eliminating, not taking them all. Okay, Dipper's here now. Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Dip. Dip. Oh yeah, you want to see the elephant too, do you? This is my fur baby. She's gonna
Oh
sniff
my
everything now.
god.
And say hi.
Oh my god. And just so looking, just so curious, just like what's going on? What exactly is going on here?
Mom, I went down. I want to sniff everything. Okay. Off you
Oh
go.
my god. She's so pretty.
So
Wow.
are you guys part of any events?
We just finished sponsoring um what is it? The diamond painting group was Come Shine With Me. We did
Oh.
your Spring Is in the Air.
Uh-huh.
No, we did that's with Mystical Dream Diamonds. We sponsored Spring Is in the Air. We did the one that you just did. You know, honestly, if somebody asks us, we try to accommodate it one way or the other. We are still new, so things that I do, like personally with butterfly kisses. Again, I'm doing it personally, right?
Yeah.
So I go off for 4 tumblers if I want to, because it's just about whether I want to make it.
Yeah.
Where the cats is a little different, and so we have to, determine what the best way to sponsor is, and we kind of just still finding our way.
Yeah.
We still trying to find our way with it. But we very much open to sponsoring. Um, because it's again a format of getting our name out there. So we all for that.
Well, and there has to be a balance too, right?
Absolutely.
Because there is a cost to it.
Absolutely.
So it's not just, well, I can't believe somebody's not sponsoring. It's like, well, hang on a second. There's more to it than that, right? So I want people to be aware of that as well, because I know some people, and you find it everywhere, some people are just there for the freebies or the giveaways. And it's like,
Absolutely.
I understand that, but let's please be respectful
Yeah.
for our generosities, because they don't have to do it.
Right.
So that's important as well.
Absolutely. And I think that it's important that people also realize that, companies have to make decisions that they think make sense too, right?
Yeah.
So I know, like with when I think about whether the cats to sponsor something with the cats, I always want to know how many other diamond painting companies are involved, right? And it's not that you don't want to participate because a specific company is involved, but after a while, I had an interesting experience with butterfly kisses, right? And so I make the tumblers, right? And I had this lady yelling at me about a tumbler. She got a tumbler. She was not happy with this tumbler, right? And this lady went up one side of me and came down the next. She was pissed, right? This lady was big pissed. I didn't even know who she was, Ron.
Okay, first of all, you don't need to get mad at somebody.
I mean, this lady mad, right? And I could not figure out who she was for the life of me, right? So I said to her, I said, well, can you take a picture of the tumbler and let me see it, right? Because I get that you're upset, but we need to get to the bottom of this, right?
Yeah.
And it's because I was sponsoring an event, but this particular event also had 2 or 3 other companies that were making tumblers all of a sudden, right? So come to find out, it wasn't even my tumbler. Okay. So I try to not participate in certain types of sponsoring where there's other companies that can be kind of misconstrued, right? Because all people know is what they know, right? So when they go to the page and they like, oh my gosh, she's saying, oh, Butterfly Kisses makes tumblers. I had to have gotten it from her. The lady didn't order it from me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was one of the featured because I had donated so much. He assumed it was me. So that's another thing. It's not that we don't always want to participate in sponsoring events, but there is a cost attached, right? And it has to make sense. The whole thing, you have to make it make sense, right? So it's one thing to sponsor an event and you figure, there's a lot of people involved and those people are going to support your business. There's new people that you can introduce yourself. That's all well and good,
Yep.
but that's not a guarantee, right? So you got to be careful not to overdo yourself either because you may not get back what you've even put into it.
Well, no, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
it's important, but people don't always see that because, like you said, a lot of people do events just because they want to earn whatever it is that it's free,
Yeah. Yeah.
so they don't think
And
about that.
yeah, and I definitely learned that doing my first event. It was like, okay, I am changing this because it's not, for me, it's not respectful for anybody. And I'm like, you don't need to critique something because you've been gifted it.
Hmm.
If you don't
Mhm.
want it, then that's fine. We'll give it to somebody else.
Mhm.
Right. And I can totally understand coming from, well, Kokisha makes tumblers. Something's wrong with this tumbler. They make that association, but it's not the correct association.
Correct.
But that's what they're drawn to.
Correct.
So I can understand that, right?
Mhm.
And it's very interesting because if we don't get the engagement, part of asking for sponsors is to showcase them, is to,
Yeah.
like, these are really good places to go, guys. Like, please go, right? But it's finding that balance of, I don't want to make it a mandate
Right.
because then it feels forced.
Yeah. And you
But I
don't want
want
to do
to,
people like that.
right? And I'm
Right.
like, I'm like, I don't know, maybe this, I need to, and it's similar to what you were saying, but we're still babies. We're still not a year old. We're still figuring this out, right? And
And you have to.
from what I've seen thus far, you guys are doing a fabulous job.
Thank you.
I'm really excited to do these canvases. And I know when I showed the elephant, the elephant, the jellyfish that you also have
But yeah.
available.
Yes. Yes.
um,
Again from Stella. Yes.
yep. And I had my emerald goddess from Cindy Emery, and I'm just like, oh my god, guys, like, you need to see these arts, like, please, like, is it just me or? But other people are coming back, going, oh my god, that is really wow. And I'm like, okay, I'm onto something
Mhm.
here. So when I found out you guys had them, I was like, hey, you can get it now. You can get it now.
Yeah.
Right? So, but that is as far as I can go in terms of please go,
Yes.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I think, if we can get that out just in terms of all the artists and get that traction going,
Yes.
you guys are, you're doing the right thing as far as I'm concerned.
We doing our best. And I'm always open to being better, right? Because I don't believe as a person that you can ever be perfect, right? So there's always the next level. So
Yeah.
even like with that cover tape, the cover sheet that we were talking about, when they said that and I think it was Momo, if I'm not mistaken, was like, it should be thicker. It needs to be thicker to be better. And I was like, okay, let's try it. And she was right. You understand? She was right. And it ended up being perfect.
Right. And that's part of it is everybody needs to have a voice, but to also be heard. and go, okay, well, let's figure this out together. See, Pastor Brown, your diamond artwork is extraordinary, wonderful, and everything about the pictures are beautiful, so beautiful, but no one can resist to buy them. Heck, I might even buy some myself. You won't be disappointed. Just saying. If I have my way, I will. Okay, I'm not going to promise anything because I don't know if I can. I was going to say I was going to have those done by the end of the year, but I don't know.
I was going to say that's a big act. Okay, you have other kids and other events, and listen, I give a lot of amazement to people. I mean, I'm a fast diamond painter, right? So if I set my, I love Chuck Pinson. Dak will always have my heart because I love Chuck Pinson, right?
Yeah.
And I can't have him, right? So, I have a Chuck gallery in my home. Okay, that are just Chuck Pinson pictures.
Oh, awesome!
Okay. There's about 13 of them up.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So because I've been diamond painting so long, I did I think the Chuck along 2 or 3, and I literally completed 1 canvas a week for the entire event.
Wow.
Okay. I wasn't nearly as busy then in my life. Okay. Yeah. But, because I love his work. Okay. And so I own them all. Okay. But, with that, some people are faster than others,
Yes.
And so I would tell people in a minute, don't put your back up against the wall. You know what I'm saying? I consider myself a fast diamond painting, and I still got this massive beast to deal with. It came and I said, okay, I was just like, what was I thinking? But it'll get done as it gets done.
Yeah, and I mean, I do it because I enjoy it, not because I am trying to hit a deadline.
Right. And I think that's what is important, that you always remember your why. Why are you doing this? Yeah. You don't have to be as fast as this person. You don't have to finish a canvas. I have a pet peeve. Everybody knows I do events, and one of my pet peeves is that an event that requires a finish, because that's a lot of pressure, right? That's a lot of pressure. So I have a real pet peeve with that. Okay, I think that you should let people diamond paint as they diamond paint, because that's different for everybody.
Yeah, and and it's gotten me in trouble because like I said, I'm not a whip girl. However, I have 7 in this room that are all in progress.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to start another one for an event. So when you have an event that says you need a new start, and I'm like, oh. But
now, see, I always require a new start, which I understand why that's now problematic, right? And so I've made an exception that depends on the size of the canvas. I'll let you get away with having started it already, right? Because it becomes problematic because there's so many events.
Yeah. You're now being watched on the big screen.
It's just so many events that people are doing all the time,
Yeah.
So I find where I've learned that that's a little problematic. Well,
I can understand if it's a canvas that has less than a 30 by 40 that's remaining,
right,
for a 1 month,
right,
or it's less than a 40 by 60 for 2 months. I totally understand that. Mm-hmm. Right? And for individuals similar to me, where a 50 by 50 is my minimum stat, my minimum start
Mm-hmm.
and you have to try and get the theme, I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this. I want to participate. I'll cheer you guys all on, but I cannot doing this.
Right. Because it's a
My
lot.
friends.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So you know what? I think for the rest of the year, most of mine are just gonna be, I'll cheer everybody on. And I want it because the other part of is I want to finish.
Yeah.
Right. So like that gentleman in the Facebook group where a 30 by 40, because I just want to finish. And I'm like, I get it. Right. But I think the other part for me is I do the bigger ones and I like the confetti because I do smaller sections.
Right.
So by the time I step back, I'm like, oh my God, there's a detail there.
Correct.
Because it's so close, I don't see it when I'm working on it.
Absolutely.
Right? So when I'm working on the elephant, I put it back and I'm like, oh, there's the tusk. Yay! Or there's a flower. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part. So for me, it's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. Because when you
Exactly.
do a jigsaw puzzle, you don't see the whole picture. But when you place them in, you see it develop.
Yes.
So that is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I love about Chuck's pictures is that when you're doing the sections like that, right, that you'll finish it and then be like, oh my God, there's a bunny. You know, something you didn't even notice was in the picture in the first place. You're just like, oh my God. You know,
Yep.
so yeah, I think that diamond painting is supposed to be relaxing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I we spoke of Break the Silence earlier. Uh
Yep.
and you know, year before last, Break the Silence had 52 sponsors.
Wow.
Okay. So yes, I required a 40 by 50 picture and brand new, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't require a finish, right?
Yes.
It needed to be purple, right? Because it's in a purple affair. Um, but because I don't require a finish, you know, all I want you to do is something. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
require you to do a whole section or, you know, to even be 50% finished when it's finished. Because I think that diamond painting has to stay what it is, which is supposed to be relaxing.
Yeah.
Okay. And anything that we do as event hosts, we got to always remember that we have control of making it where it's a race,
Yeah.
right? And they can't enjoy a race, right? So I think that that's important and that we keep it in mind, you know, that different people diamond paint at different speeds and at
Yeah.
different rates. And, you know, some things are important to some people and some people are not, you know. So it's
Yeah.
just different, you know. I take my hat off to people that can separate their canvas with the washi tape. Dirt. I need somebody to come to my house and actually do it in front of me so maybe I'll understand it better because I have never been able to master it. I've just never done it blows my mind every time I see it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a release paper kind of girl because I
Yep.
like fictions. Right?
Well, and that's
But I find
exactly
it
it.
fascinating.
Yeah. And I think, as you're talking about that, how each person has their own style
Yeah,
and their why for doing what they're doing,
absolutely.
that goes back to the three crazy cats. The variety, the different sizes, the options, and having a place on Facebook where there isn't drama. We're just here to have fun,
Absolutely.
right? It's not like, okay, well, you can't show that because that's not ours.
Right.
We're all here and let's enjoy that.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's part I love about your Facebook group
Yeah.
is I get to go in there and I can just see the community of people who are doing diamond painting and a
That's true.
discussion.
Absolutely. You know, and I love that. I require that all of my Facebook groups are just that. Okay. Just somewhere to enjoy yourself, somewhere to relax. Okay. Um, Three Crazy Cats is, far from just me
Mhm.
in the helm. Um, I enjoy being the face of the company. Um, because somebody got to do it. Okay. Um, but I enjoy being the representative of these artists because they're just
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Like I said, some of them have larger followings than others, right? But I enjoy watching them. I've watched some of them grow so much. I watched their styles change so much, you know.
Mhm.
Cindy Emery is a perfect example. I've known Cindy a really long time now, several years, and I watch her continue to evolve in the types of
Mhm.
pictures that she does, right? Um, and that's also very fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, um, you know, it's I love I love what I do, and as long as you love what you do, it's really not work, you know. Uh, but the cats will work. Three Crazy Cats will work, because it takes a lot of moving parts to make it all work, you know, and
And a
there's no
lot of them
way
are
around
behind the scenes that we don't see.
that. Absolutely. Most of it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
You know,
so you got 3 crazy cats on the water, and their feet are going like this underneath, and we don't see it.
exactly. You know, and hell, you got three women. We don't always see eye to eye. You understand? We're not always in agreement. Um, but there's a mutual respect for the fact that we all looking at this different, right? And because we're all looking at it different, I love that covers the gauntlet. It usually will allow us to be on the forefront of anything that can come up because one of us have seen it in the way that that customer is going to see it, right? Because we are all very different diamond painters. One of us likes squares, another one of us likes round, some of us like ABs, some of us don't want to see none, so
Yep.
this is why we offered all of the options to cover everything for every picture, you know,
Yeah.
that was important that you had choices. It's your money, right? So we tried to keep the cost down as much as we could based on what we learned, right? But we also picked very premium kits. Okay. We wanted the kit to that canvas to feel a certain way.
Yep.
When it became an option that we could have like the glitter kind of look, where it would sparkle, you know, hey, let's go with that, so every detail was important, you know. And so I thank God for the girls too, because I far from running this company by myself, although I stand as the face, but like the website, I never touch it.
Yep.
I
And
never touch
you all have
it.
roles in there, and you all have opinions and
Yeah,
decisions that you make collaboratively,
absolutely, absolutely.
right?
So that website I never touch. What I'm saying? That's Blue Cat job. I don't touch that, you know. Um, I the names, that's another thing. All of these pictures have to get names, right? So in the Facebook book group, you learn a lot about how the names are chosen, right? Because a lot of the names have meanings behind them that were caused because of the picture, right?
Ah.
I can't take credit for that. Kokisha don't do that, right? But Green Cat is on that. That's what she enjoys doing and naming the
Yeah.
pictures. I only fill in the blanks if she needs me. If she says, "Hey, Keisha, I saw this cat. Stella did this cat. What do I do? I don't know what to call it." So I step in. If they
Yeah.
need help with the website, I step in. But those are not my roles. So we all have our roles, right? Um, the
Alright.
and it's important. Our tracking numbers are kept up with. You know, she sends emails out for everybody that gets orders a kit. You understand? This way, you don't have to ask for the tracking number. you've received it in your email already. So you
Yeah.
can watch it. But on top of that, she literally watches each and every kit. She knows when each and every one is delivered. Okay.
Incredible.
'Cause that's important to her, right? So she
Yeah.
literally tracks it from the time it leaves the supplier, okay, to the time it's in your hand. She
Yeah.
knows. He's able to say, "Hey, Kokisha, on Monday, Rhonda, Jackie, and this one is getting their kids." Okay, so all of those things are, like I said, we all have something that's important to us, and so because of that, I think that we just get to cover the gauntlet, and keep the bases covered. But as I said, we always still growing. We the babies, and so I'm always open to suggestions, no matter what you know, it is. I want to know. If somebody
Yeah.
thinks they have a way that I could do something different, whether it is a suggestion on how to make the Facebook group more fun or the only thing I tell people, don't tell me nothing about the website. Okay. Don't tell me nothing about the website because we worked hard on the website and that girl is very particular about that website. So unless it is something that you found an error,
Yep.
don't tell me about the website. Okay. Everything else is open for discussion, but because we want to be as great as we can be. We're not trying to be I can't if I say we don't want to be the next dad, I mean who the hell don't want to be the next dad? You know what I'm saying? So
No, but you
I
want
don't
to
go
you want to be the best that you can
you
be,
exactly. Okay.
because
And
in
wherever that takes
all
us
honesty,
is where
you're
it
in
takes us.
competition with yourself.
Exactly. Okay. And I'm always in competition with myself because I'm a perfectionist, you know.
Yep.
So we just want to be the best diamond painting company that we can be. We want to offer to our customers and them to understand that they have great value. You know, I
Yep.
think that some companies get so large that they forget that personal touch that has to go into it, right? Because you're asking people to spend money. Okay. And these kits are not cheap.
No.
They're just not. Okay. So you have to have an appreciation for the fact that people are willing to spend that money and therefore they deserve a level of respect that comes with that. They deserve to feel appreciated because of that. You know, so you
Yeah.
do your best.
Hmm.
You do your best. Like I said, I know there's gonna be hiccups, and that's okay. But how do we recover from the hiccups is what's important. You know, so
Exactly.
I thank God. Things are going extraordinary. Every month we growing hand over foot, which is beautiful. And like I said, the best is yet to come. They still putting out amazing they still putting out amazing work. I started laughing just now because I just got another elephant. I just got another elephant. I'm like, oh, okay. So, that's why I said they want to hear what you have to say. And when they do, they just run with it. So
Which is
I love
awesome,
them. I love them. I love them.
right? And
I'm blessed to work with some very extraordinary women, and then they're talented to boot. So I feel very appreciative and very grateful for them because there's no three crazy cats without them. You know,
yeah, if it wasn't for all of you, I I don't know where I would find your artists
right?
and your product,
Yeah,
because it wouldn't be there,
right.
right? And as a customer, being able to be introduced to these artists
Yes.
and your product and your customer service, I'm just like, thank you. Because in a lot of places, so I'm in Canada and we don't have very many craft stores.
So I've heard.
We don't. And the ones that we do have are very limited stock and
Mm,
limited inventory of images.
right.
So if I can find stuff I like and I can get it and then I can share it. I'm like, I'm all there,
Right.
which is wonderful. So I'm really grateful that Three Crazy Cats is here.
Thank
And the
you.
artists that you have are phenomenal.
Thank you. I'm sure they'll
Um,
appreciate hearing that.
and they are. And I'm not sugarcoating that. Like, if I didn't like them, I wouldn't be buying them.
Sure.
And I wouldn't be sharing them. And I'm hoping people will go to your website and take a look at what you have to offer. Kokisha pen.
Yeah, I listen.
Pen.
I love me some Kayleen too, but she's so funny. Okay. Well, you want one from my personal stash for every fourth canvas purchase? I could do that, actually. I could do that. Then I only have 2 pens though. So how you
Oh,
doing
no,
me?
you can't have that. No.
You know, so it's so funny. Okay, I mean, I'm grateful. These people, a lot of these people are the names I recognize, and they have supported not only the Three Crazy Cats, but Butterfly Kisses and Break the Silence. So I feel really grateful that I'm able to impact people
Yeah.
and provide a service that they enjoy, because that's important to me. I am truly blessed to be able to work with these artists. I love them. They know that. Okay. I'm blessed that they're also my friends. So I have a lovely relationship with them that's comfortable. I'm sure people's noticed that a lot of these companies have a lot of artists, you know, and I could do that. I really could.
Yeah.
I don't wanna. Right. I
But
really
that's not
don't
you.
wanna.
That's not Three Crazy Cats.
It's not, and it's not gonna be us. We're a family as we are. It
Yeah.
keeps it drama free, and we get along so well. You know what I'm saying? Like if it ain't broke, why if it ain't
Oh,
broke,
yeah,
why
no,
fix it?
don't
You
fix it.
can't fix it, right?
Yeah.
So it's just easier to stay as we are. That's not to say that one day that may not change. You know what I'm saying? But we're not trying to be everybody else. You
Just be
know?
you.
Right. And that's all I know how to do. I'm just
Yeah.
Kokisha. That's all I know how to be. And so we're not trying to be everybody else. And the fact that we are small, right? But we enjoy that we're able to be so close because we're small, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can tell you what's going on in everybody's life because we're so small, right? And we're able to help one another and love on one another and support one another, because
Yeah.
it's so such a close knit, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, um, I just lost my chain of thought. But because of that, all of my artists are exclusive to Butterfly Kisses to Three Crazy Cats at this point, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
just about all of them. Yeah, I think actually all of them now. Okay. And that's an honor in itself, right? Because I
Yes.
can't, I can't, I can't make them not do that. You know what I'm saying? If they wanted to be and sign with other companies, I would be fine with it. Our contract does not specify that they cannot do that, right? So I feel honored to be able to represent them, you know, because that's all I really feel like I do, right? My job is to sell their art, right? So I represent them,
Yeah.
okay? And I
That's
try
me.
to do that to the best of my ability.
Yeah. And the quality that you have is really good. It's really good.
Thank you.
Right. And, you know, like you say, you're a representation of them, you represent them.
Yeah,
So there needs to be some quality assurance in there.
absolutely.
Right. And, Cookie Monster says Three Crazy Cats is a family.
We
Denise,
are.
it sure is.
We are.
Right.
We are.
And
Okay.
when you get
I'm
to
not.
a certain size, it does become distant.
Exactly.
And you can see that not because of anything in particular. That's just the way it is,
Right.
right?
Right.
And
I mean, it's not personal. You know what I'm saying? But it's people have bad intentions, right? But if you got 25 artists and you one person running a company, how do you keep track of all them 25? You just can't. You know,
exactly,
there's a
you can.
distance that has to be there, as opposed to, I think we now at 7, you know what I'm saying? It's really easy to keep track of those 7, you know, because I need to know when they're happy, when they're not, you know, if they have children, I got one buying a house right now. She's a little distracted, you know what I'm saying? That's its own process, so it's important to me to know what they're going through, right? And like I said, I have a whole Rolodex of stuff. So anybody that stops making pictures right now, it is okay.
Yeah.
Right? I got enough to keep going for now, which is, a blessing. It really is because I get to, like I said, it for me, watching their growth is extraordinary in itself. It really
Yeah.
is to watch them grow and watch them change and adjust. I laugh when they provide something that somebody's asked for, right? Like, Stella's in here. She's like, "Oh, you want elephants?" Now I'm popping up elephant pictures and I'm just laughing, because
Hey,
that's what they
Stella,
do.
what would you do with a ferret?
Listen, I'm telling you, I got a ferret coming next week. I'm telling you, okay. It's funny that you said that because I sure got a ferret. I got a nice ferret picture coming next week. Okay, because I told the girls that we needed to represent animals, but we need to kind of cover the gauntlet, right? Because everybody likes something different. I might not want a bearded dragon, but people got one. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh yeah.
and they stand up. If I give them a challenge, they run with it. They're okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
yeah. So it's
When I
nice.
love the fact that you're bringing out some dark art because
Yeah, this is
it is,
interesting.
it's not everybody's cup of tea,
It's not. It's hell. It's not
and
mine.
and there are a number of people that I have gotten to know
Hmm.
who love dark art,
Yes.
and I'm like, really? I would never have thought of that.
Hmm.
They're like, and they're talking like Freddy Krueger dark art, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we even in the dark art, right? That's such a broad statement, right? So we were like, okay, well, how dark do we want to go?
Yeah.
Right? Like, are we doing blood gore type of dark? You
Ah,
know, are we just making the picture like, a little devilish? Like, so it was interesting. It's very interesting watching what they're coming up with. Okay. Because they kind of, again, they're doing what they do. So they kind of covering a gauntlet.
yep.
And with the competitions, they make me laugh with that because they really take that seriously.
Oh, of course they would.
They take it so seriously.
Bring it on.
So it's going to be interesting to watch who wins this one because everybody started out going, when you say dark art,
Please
like
define.
what exactly are we talking about? Only one of them did not ask no question, and she was like, "Oh, I won. I got this. It's not a problem." And that's Taza's Creations, right? Because she's all over the place, and she just made a beautiful picture for Cute Poison that came out last week, okay,
Mhm.
or a week before. It's probably has now been officially our most popular kit ordered in a 1 week time, right? They
Wow.
they fell in love with this picture. Is it my cup of tea? No, not really, right? But to watch everybody that was buying it, I was amazed. I was just
Yeah.
like, wow. Okay, so they surprised me too. We have certain kits that have resold over and over. But most of them, people will be surprised to know that you got the only one. I need you to do it. We don't know what it looks like. I need you to do it.
Yeah.
So it's this has been an adventure and a ride, and I've enjoyed it. I honestly I have.
Well, this has been great. Like, I've really enjoyed having you on as my guest.
You're very welcome. I'm
I'm
honored
just,
that you asked.
and I am so grateful for all of you, like I said, all of your artists, of the three of you gals, you crazy, crazy cats, you, or should I say, you crazy, crazy kittens, because you're only 6 months old. So you're
Yes,
still like wild
yes,
around.
that's right. We still babies around there.
Everybody, please go check out Three Krazy Katz Diamond Art. Check out their website. Check out their Facebook page. Join, answer the questions. You're more than welcome to use Dipper15, all caps, one word, when you go shopping. Check them out and see what they have in store coming up,
Yeah.
as Kokisha has mentioned tonight. Wait till you see what's going to happen.
Yes, this is gonna be an interesting month. This is gonna be an interesting month.
Thank you so much, Kokisha.
You're very
Everybody, we'll
welcome. Thank
see you
you.
later and have a good night.
Thank you,
Until
and
then.
you too. Good night, everybody.